Hi, everybody. We're back to do our Heritage Studies pages. The first one, the front side, this is Heritage Studies, page 87. And this is about a song written called the Erie Canal. So, what you need to do first is I want you to take time and read through the song. And actually, if you can convince your parents, if you YouTube this, you can actually hear recordings of really their old recordings of this song performed, and it's pretty cool to hear. But we need to read the paragraph here. So read through the song at the top, and then we're going to read through this. This part I'll read through with you. So if you need to pause the video and you haven't read the top yet, you go ahead and pause the video right now and read through the actual song. And then we'll read this part together. This American folk song about the Erie Canal was written in 1905 by Thomas S. Allen. The canal was so amazing it was called the eighth wonder of the world. The song describes the years when mules pulled barges or flat-bottomed boats filled with lumber, coal, and hay from Lake Erie to the Hudson River. Sometimes passengers would ride on the barges. The passengers had to duck down out of the way whenever they came to a low bridge. And that's where the chorus comes into play. Low bridge, everybody down. Low bridge, we must be getting near a town. So if you if you can listen to that, it's pretty cool. So let's look at the comprehension questions at the bottom to see how well we read. Remember, you always go back to the reading to find your answers. But let's do that together. We'll see how you're doing and maybe can help you along if you were struggling. Number 1 asks, who wrote the words to the Erie Canal? Well, who's the author? The first sentence tells us, this American folk song about the Erie Canal was written in 1905 by Thomas S. Allen. So you should fill in the bubble by Thomas S. Allen. Number 2 says, what does the song describe? Does it describe life on Lake Erie or life on the Erie Canal? My guess is you got this one, in part just because the title, the heading at the top of the page. But it tells us to here a song about the Erie Canal. Good job. Number 3, what two bodies of water did the canal connect? Well, our choices are Lake Erie and the Hudson River or Lake Ontario and the Hudson River. If we go back up to the paragraph, you'll find here, it says right here, from Lake Erie to the Hudson River. So the first choice is the correct one. Number 4 asks, what was the name of the mule? Well, this one, the paragraph didn't talk about the mule. We have to go up to the song at the top of the page and find out what's the name of the mule. Well, if you read the first line, it says, I've got an old mule and her name is Sal, right here. Her name is Sal. So we're going to fill in the bubble by Sal. Where were the bridges located? Were they close to towns or close to the valleys? This one they told us here, right? Near a town. Low bridge, we must be getting close to town. So we're going to fill in close to towns. Which cities are part of the song? Was it New York City and Buffalo or Albany and Buffalo? Again, go back up to the song and look in the verse. You will find in the second verse, the last line says, from Albany to Buffalo. All right. Hope that made that a little easier, and you can see how, if you go back up to the information given at the top of the page, you can always make sure you have the right answer. Notice how I underline them. You can do that as well. That's just a tool to help you on those comprehension questions. Let's turn it over and look at the back, and we have a different type of map called a population map. So let's read about that at the top. It says a population map can help you locate where most people live in a particular area. An area with a higher population density is more crowded. Population density is the number of people living in an area of a certain size. A city has a higher population density than a rural area. So if we went to Columbus or Dayton, you can tell that they have a higher population density than we do here in Bellefontaine or West Liberty, Huntsville, wherever you might live, right? We live in a more rural area compared to the larger cities, if you go to Cincinnati, for example. So they want us to answer the questions according to this map. And I will tell you, originally this map was in color, and when I copied them, I was trying to just, save ink, and we did it in black and white. However, some of the colors didn't pick up very well, and we'll get to that. It only affected one of them in number 4. And number 1, they asked what color. You pretty much have to just say whether it's a light gray or dark gray. So let's look here. We have, right, the state of Massachusetts, and it's from the year 1860. If you find the map key here, each little box shows us the color code, what the colors stand for. If the box is all white, the population was from 200 to 2,000. The lightest gray would look as 0 to 200, and the medium gray is 2,000 to 7,000, and the darkest gray is 7,000 plus, which it means it has 7,000 or more people per square mile. Number 1 asks us what color is used for the highest population density. And that's where we come back to this key. Which of these colors represents the most people? And so the dark gray, right? It was probably a red or something on the original, but that's okay. We'll just put dark gray, the darker color. So if we look here in Massachusetts in 1860, you see that the Boston area, right? Boston is a very old city, lots of people living there. Also with the harbor there, lots of shipping, merchants, businesses are there. So that has a higher population. There are more people living in that area. Whereas we go out here, it's probably more rural, more of farmlands, things like that. People are more spread out. So what is the population density of Boston? Well, it's the darkest gray. So we know that it's 7,000 plus, which means 7,000 or more. Okay, good job. Now they want us to actually start looking at other cities. The cities are printed in black, and they have a little black dot representing their location. Number 3 says, which city has a lower population density? Topsfield or Rockland? Well, the first thing, you're going to do a city search. You've got to find where is Rockland and Topsfield. I said it backwards, sorry. Topsfield is up here, and Rockland's here. Rockland's kind of in the whitish color, and Topsfield is the medium gray. So which one has a lower population density, right? Well, the one that's lighter in color, which would be Rockland. So we would write Rockland here. Oh, I'm sorry, a colored map would have made this one way easier, so I'm sorry about that. In number 4, it says, which city has a higher population? 3 asks lower. This time they're asking higher. Is it Taunton or Rutland that has the highest? So I need to find, here's Taunton. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And Rutland. Rutland's over here. Here's Rutland. Okay. All right, so we need to compare the two of those. And I'll be honest, on your map, they look exactly the same. Okay, on the original, they're not. So if you answered the same, you could write the same, right? They're the same. Or the actual answer is Taunton. Okay. And I had the map in color, so I had an advantage there. But if you put that they were the same, I would totally count that correct, because according to this map, that's what they look like. Well, I hope that was easy. I know you guys are good at reading maps, just some extra practice of that, and also just the idea of we can use maps to represent a population of a given area, so we can see which areas have more or fewer people living in them. So I hope that's helpful. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.